Alright, chat, we're live, and I came bringing an aristocratic co-host, Spoonz. I don't know if you need to introduce yourself, but do it anyway.
No, I don't think I do actually. It's been a while since you and I've had a conversation. Since V decided to annoy the crap out of me by spamming
Alright,
all kinds
chat,
of
we're
rubbish.
live, and
You just took care of the one
he's an
over me, and I had
aristocratic
enough.
co-host, Spoonz.
And yeah, I do fellow shit stirring content as well on the occasion. I
I,
actually haven't for a while though because I recently moved country, so
oh, where are you now, or is that a doxing
in
thing?
South Africa.
Oh my god, really? Why?
Okay, so let me explain this. You know the way that if you look at America and you just see California riots, and you tell someone I'm going to America, and they think, oh my god, because they think you're moving into California. Yeah, now imagine I moved into like the whitest neighborhood in Florida.
It's kind of like...
Basically that.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like telling me you moved to China and then trying to explain that not all China is China. Like, I kind of get where you're
Yeah.
coming from, yeah, but it's still... You know, it's like, well, actually, no, China would still be a better example. You move to South Africa, holy shit. It's like saying you move to Britain, you know? Like, no matter where in Britain you are, you're kind of fucked. And I don't understand, like, why did you decide to move to South Africa?
Well, it's because I lived in Ireland for 25 years. Ireland is kind of going sideways in a very bad way. And my folks wanted to move back. And they said to me, do you want to go home? And I went, well, I could stay here, but I don't have a family. It's just like my parents are there. Everyone else is still back home or Australia or England or bloody hell, families all over the place. And I thought, well, I can still do what I do now in South Africa. So, yeah, I've been here for a couple of months now. It's kind of surreal being back home because I sound strange. I look like a foreigner. And despite the fact that everyone still speaks the same language as I do and I can understand them, I don't quite really feel like I'm one of these people.
Do you get load shedding?
No.
At least that. Do
Yeah.
you have, like, the Afrikaner accent? Like, can you bring it back?
Oh, I can still do the Afrikaner accent if it's necessary, yes.
This is so
But
fucking...
don't ask me to do it all the time.
It's actually a lot better, Chad. Don't you think, like, he speaks better when he speaks Afrikaner? It's got, like, that
No, I
novelty
don't.
thing.
Shut up, V.
It's got, like, that novelty thing, you know? Like, everyone expects a Sargon of Akkad voice, you know? A classical English. But that's boring. You don't really hear the
Right.
Afrikaner thing. Anyway, Jacob Andrew, thank you for 50 Romanian currency. Since Diddy and Epstein's clients got away with it, I'd like to congratulate the United States on becoming the third world country. Welcome to the club, boys. Welcome home. Well, no, see, this is wrong. Like, in third world countries, they actually do punish people like that.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, like, it takes a first world nation to have, like, the sophistication and the, you know, deeper level of corruption. This is what a lot of Americans don't appreciate. Corruption, just like anything else that humanity has invented, it has like a primitive form that we have in Eastern Europe. Then it has like a more advanced form that took ages to create. Like you have in modern United States, for instance, where people that diddle kids, if they're rich and wealthy and connected enough, they can get away with it.
Yeah, that is something that I've noticed with the only difference between first world corruption and third world corruption is violence. It's the exact same thing. The consequences are just different.
Speaking of corruption and the whole Epstein, did you listen to the Alex Jones Cope?
The video that I have not seen that one, but give us a lowdown on what poor Alex. Was it good or bad?
Well, Donald Trump, you know, he campaigned on releasing the Epstein list, and he managed to get into office, and he was really big on the idea, oh, it's coming! It's a coming any day now! It's a coming! And he even got, like, all those right-wing influencers, and they were all like, oh we got
God,
the papers!
That was so cringe.
We got the papers right here! And it was a nothing burger, right? And everyone is like, oh, it's a coming any day now. And a reporter asked Trump yesterday, it's like, well, what happened to Epstein? And he's like, well, why do you care about it? Why do you care about that pervert? Like, well, why are we still talking about it? Can we not move on? And so people were blue-balled, you know? It was coming and now it's not. And so Alex Jones went on a newscast and he said, no, you see, Trump is playing underwater AD chess. He's using the list to blackmail the deep state. That's how he wins.
No.
And I'm like, dude, has anyone in human history gotten this much benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, Trump is. God damn. The thing is, I have a sort of ugly take with regards to that thing, because when I saw how the influencers came out and waved the thing, and just the influencer list of people, the photo op that I went, this is supposed to be like a massive international cabal of blackmailed people. God knows how many nations, and you're waving it around like it's just a photo op. Like, if that doesn't tell you how unserious this administration is when it comes to this kind of shit, I don't know what the hell to tell you. And also, Matt Gaetz getting shafted for AG for that blonde bimbo, that was a pretty big red freaking flag, as far as I'm concerned. So when I saw the whole thing kicked off and nothing happened, I'm like, how did you not see this coming? And also, if let's just play a hypothetical scenario, okay? If you look at Trump and the American government, the executive is not in charge of jack shit. You could see this under Biden. The executive just exists as like a figurehead, basically. He's basically like a constitutional monarch in a lot of ways. A little bit more power. He uses the reserve powers more often. But if you are Trump, right, and you come into office and you see that list is basically loaded with the name of everyone else around you, you still need to govern for 4 years. Are you telling me you're going to throw everyone under the bus? Like, where exactly is your political capital for getting anything done for the next 3.5 years? It's shot to pieces. That's unrealistic.
Yeah, so the photo op thing, the way I saw it, and I guess like not a lot of people saw it this way, is that you had 4 years, probably more, and the mainstream media did jack shit. Right? Like, they're not doing any inquisitive journalism. They're not doing anything.
No, they never are.
And so, like, allegedly, like, at the time, the way I viewed it is like, okay, Trump campaigned on this. He's going to actually release it. I had no reason at the time to suspect that he wouldn't, because, like, he just got into office and it was, like, one of the first things that he did. And he's giving it to the influencers. So, like, the message would be that the influencers are now the mainstream media, right? And of course, like, you as the influencer would laugh, because it's like, okay, I'm being trusted with this important thing because the multi-billion-dollar corporations are so shit at doing their job that I, from my mom's basement with a microphone, can now do what they were supposed to be doing. Okay? So, like, that photo op can have, like, that image for the ones that want to look at it in a different way. However, this is what I think, you know. Elon Musk accused Donald Trump of being on the list. I personally don't believe it. For the very reason that, number one, if it was true, then surely the Biden administration would have used that against him. Especially in the elections, right? Like, that is a no-brainer. They would have hammered that. Even if it was like a very small thing, they would have lashed it onto him. But the second reason is that, okay, let's look at what happened with Epstein. You have this statement that he's committed suicide in prison. And apparently the guards were asleep. He was in a cell that was specifically designed to prevent people committing suicide, and then he was moved. His cellmate was moved as well. The cameras don't work. The guards were asleep, right? Like, nothing adds up. And so you notice that no one buys it. People on the left don't buy it. Like, there were New York Times journalists that didn't buy it. People on the right don't buy it. Even the plebs, and like, almost nobody was buying it. As far as I know, like if you said that Epstein didn't kill himself, no one would accuse you of a conspiracy theory.
You'd be made fun of.
Not even that. Like, it was like for the first time ever that if you disagree with the government statements, literally no one is riding your ass for that. No one is making fun of you. No one is, right? And so this whole thing eventually just dies down. Like, no one brings it up. No one talks about it. People are just accepting that they become jaded. It is what it is. They move on. And then Trump comes up and brings it back. Like, why would he do that if he was on the list? It doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Like, he's the one that reopened the conversation. It was vote for me, and I'll make the list public. So, at that...
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
That is one of the things that I have a lot of trouble understanding. It is also really funny trying to... I'm going to say this. the amount of ass kissing of Trump in like the last 6 months has been overwhelming to the point of irritating. I've had people who are friends of mine who watch like people that I've watched who went like, dude, the sycophantic nature of this is getting ridiculous. And I'd also look at when like it's the Alex Jones thing of just there must be like Trump can never do anything stupid. Like there must be 4D chess in literally everything he does. And it's like, dude, he's just a human being. He can fuck up. He's not God.
Yeah, like the first problem is that people are looking at him like he's the dictator of America. He's a president.
Yes,
and
he's like a king.
He's not even a king. He's like the head of an administration. Like there's other people governing, right?
He's Pinochet.
And so yeah, like basically, I'm looking at it as like, okay, he's in charge of an administration. Certain things that he does are good. Other things aren't so good. Like, for instance, I like the fact that he stopped states from preventing AI from being developed. In other words, he's maintaining America's AI supremacy compared to China because the European Union isn't even bothering. Like he's got, like, certain things, you know, the social media is less censorious under him. So, like, I can say, all right, well, there are many issues that under Trump are a lot better. But when he fucks up, he fucks up. And now the question is, what actually happened, right? If he actually wanted to release the file and the file don't get released, well, several things could have happened. Number one, he could have gotten blackmailed, right? Or maybe the files themselves were being stolen. Who the fuck knows? Number two, like, you might actually be right. You know, there may be actual names on that list that are probably CIA operatives or various plants
undoubtedly
that are being blackmailed, and it's like, you know, now someone is the prime minister of some country, because like I know that there are allegations that the palace in the UK is on that list, right? Like some prince, what the fuck is his name, right?
Andrew.
Yeah, okay. So like,
yeah.
Basically the United States is saying, like, look, if that's the case, we have leverage over Andrew. Let's say you publish the name, what happens? Is he going to go to prison? From the United Kingdom, he's with the palace? Probably not, right? It's going to be a shit show. What if we don't just blackmail him? I think, like, that's the level of real politics that's happening behind closed doors. I'm not saying it's moral. I'm just trying to explain the reason on why the man said he's going to release the list and then all of a sudden change this tune.
That is something I have noticed a lot of people not seem to get through their heads, and I don't understand how have you not, after God knows how many generations, seen politicians make promises and then once they get into power, they don't? They should tell you that maybe they see something or the system does not run how you think it is. Like, I don't know. I remember watching Cenk several years ago or months ago where he said, I've never seen any politician in my entire lifetime ever like campaign and get into office and actually do what they say. And I'm like, how many years must you see that same formula before you realize something is wrong? That to me is just insane. How people still cope with it, I don't know.
I mean, the whole thing is, what if the politician actually wants to accomplish things, but like the circumstance around him makes it so that he can't?
Yes.
Like, for instance, in this situation, right? Like, let's say a lot of the names on that list are actual Republicans, and basically, if they get into trouble, then who's going to pass Trump's legislations?
That was sort of my real politic of the situation. Because I just thought, like, what do you think Trump is actually going to do? Do you think Trump could just like read it, go, oh my God, I'm surrounded by perverts. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to suspend the Constitution, declare martial law, elections are up in smoke, and I'm the only person that has any sense of moral character, and you can all fuck off.
To be honest,
it'd be base as shit if he did that, but I don't think he has the balls to do that.
To be honest, I would. No, to be honest, I would. If I was Trump, I would. I would 100%.
Seriously? You would do that?
Yeah, you'd have the support of the American people. Absolutely. At that point, it's like, fuck it.
Okay, that's...
No, seriously. Like, there would be, like, people on the left and the right that would support you. You'd get bipartisan support.
You go full Palpatine.
No, like...
the glory of the Empire.
Well, dude, like, there needs to be a reset button at some point, right? Like I would just stop fucking caring about geopolitics, about anything else. I would be like, no, the country maybe needs a reset. The great reset, you know, build back better. Like, I would just, make the list public. I don't fucking care.
I didn't actually think you would do that. Like,
no, like,
pretty based. Well done.
But think about it. Like, people are replaceable, right? It's like, okay, some senator or some Republican or some guy. It's like, all right, well, replace him, get him fired. The Catholic Church did it, right? Oh, you get JFK'd if you do.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay, you get JFK'd if you do. How old is Trump? Do you want to live forever? Fuck that shit. You know, at least you die with being left in the memory that you actually did that. Like, it would be the president that got assassinated for revealing a group of corruption unlike the United States has ever seen.
Yeah. And also, you'd make a martyr of him, and his son would eventually take the crown. Like, everyone is already memeing Barron as some kind of Caesar.
No, but like, seriously, think about it. Like,
Just look at like a side profile.
If anyone can do it, it would be him. Like, number one, he's already old, right? He's already on his second term.
Yes.
He's got like 79 years or something like that. I'm just saying.
I can understand if Trump did that near like the end of his term when he has expended his political capital. But to expend that at the start, when there's still a whole bunch of shit going on, it strikes me as very short-sighted.
See, people are like, V dropped his usual realpolitik for principles. Well, it's not an on-off switch. It's like a dial. If you're talking about principles where, allegedly, the entire leadership of the nation is run by a group of pedophiles that are being constantly blackmailed in order to pass certain legislations, well, at that point, yeah, I think like the principle is that if you want realpolitik to be done in the future, you have to get rid of the root problem, and the system cannot continue in this way. Like, it's unsalvageable. I mean, think about it. If
2025, V is for regime change, like absolutely based.
The fact that the Democrats...
that is probably the most base thing I've ever heard you say, actually. Seriously, that's actually like, damn, okay, V is willing to go like full red button nuke. Like, no, you're all pedophiles, piss off.
I don't even know like how many of them are, right? Like, I don't even know if there would be a regime change. Like,
I imagine it's probably be substantial.
Yeah, but most of them are probably all on their way out. You know, like
I don't even think it's necessarily sexual. It's just like a level of money laundering. Like we already know, like the Pelosi's and the Schumers, like the level of corruption in the American government. I think you, as an Eastern European, can conceptualize it because you have some experience of what it can look like. But I think the Americans have no idea just how bad their government really is.
I mean, every government has corruption, right? Like, the question is how much. And in Eastern Europe, the question is also, okay, they're corrupt, but are they governing efficiently? Like, what are we getting, you know?
Yes. I have noticed when it comes to, like, issues of, say, like, wealth inequality, people will not give a shit how much money the rich makes as long as they don't feel cheated by how much money they have. If they, like, if you say, like, if you found a lefty and Trump like passed tax cuts for the rich, but the lower classes are benefiting as well, and you go, oh, look how much money the rich are making, they will just go, look how much money, I have money too, it's great, and they won't give a shit.
Pretty much,
that is you could see that during Trump's first term. Yeah, and the lefties can't wrap their heads around that.
Well, one of the
probably
things,
because they're all virtue signaling, but
one of the things that I noticed on Twitter, and this is like something that an Eastern European can never understand, what would you like a sex-pest president that governs really well, or a president that's a pious person that governs really poorly? And the Americans went for the pious one, and I'm like, okay, but
yes, Jimmy Carter all over again.
Yeah, does it improve your life? Does it, you know? I'm just like bewildered by that. Anyway, because like the thing is, like, sex pests exist in society regardless. Like, of course you need to crack down on them. But like, let's assume it's one which did something that's not illegal, or it's way past the statute of limitation, right? And if he gets into office, you know he governs well and he's going to improve the economy and your lifestyle. Like, at that point, I would be just like, okay, fuck it, you know, whatever. Turn the other way. I don't know. Don't talk about it and don't bring it up.
I personally couldn't care less if the executive snorted coke off somebody's tits every morning if he passed tax cuts that made everyone's life better.
Exactly, yeah, like that's the Eastern mentality. But like, many people don't think that way, so whatever. You know, you get the leadership you deserve.
Essentially, my morality. Yeah.
Jacob Andrew, thank you for the 25 rod. The fact that the Dems are very soft on Trump with this issue is just sad. Well, it's probably because they don't want the list to be made public either.
It's the whole Epstein thing to me is basically like political nukes at this point. It's just mutually assured destruction from everyone involved. So I'm not surprised the entire political class, left or right, is basically shutting the hell up about it. The only people I know that are somewhat vocal about it are the people who are upset that Trump let them down, which was inevitable, like, fucking get real. And a handful of lefties who just find it kind of sketchy, like Carl Kalinske, who was one of the most insane maniac leftists around on YouTube. Even he made a meme when of Ghislaine Maxwell just said like, if there's no list, why am I in prison? I'm like, wow, for once he actually asked a sensible question. The first time in 10 years.
Well, actually,
That was quite
the real
bizarre.
question is like, why did Epstein kill himself when he would have been exonerated since there was no evidence?
That's a really good point. I didn't even think of that. That's fucking genius.
No, thank you, thank you.
I'm so gonna use that in the video. That's a really good freaking point.
Yeah, uh, but
Man,
but
that's good.
not only that, right? Like, let's say that there is no list. Well, why are they investigating then? Like, why are they gathering victims? Why are they asking questions? Right? Like why did they stop all the investigations? Like, you're basically saying that okay, there was a pedophile ring where a lot of elite people from the elite were, but you're not interested in finding out who?
Yeah. After campaigning that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
For months on end. Very shady. It's
You know, I do
I think
wonder when
Go
the
on.
decision was made, right? Like, imagine you're in the Trump administration, and the decision is to not make it public, and you're probably like, "Wow, but we promised them." It's like, yeah, I know, but you know, and it's like, well, what are we going to tell them?
yeah.
I guess we can just say that there's no list.
Why they brought it up is so bizarre.
No, they didn't. Like, Trump probably brought it up before, right? Like, before he got president. And then after he got president, I assume that either he saw some confidential information or he was advised or whatever. And I want to hear that conversation. Like, I want to hear the conversation, like, after you talk about making it public, after, right? And then you're sitting in a room and you have, like, people coming to you and they're like, okay, they managed to convince you that you shouldn't make it public. And you're like, but like, what do I tell them now? Well,
I do remember when it came to the JFK thing, because I was watching Judge Andrew Napolitano several months back, and Trump said that he would release the JFK files, and Trump phoned Napolitano and said to him, "I can't speak here; they're listening. But if you saw the list, you wouldn't release it either." And I was like, "What the hell was on it that you would have this change of heart?" So it does make me think that. You can say the executive has access to all these things, but this is I'm under the impression, just looking at how certain people behave when they get information, I don't think all information is given to all people and they'll just take to it like a fish to water. Like, take for example James Lindsay. He's read apparently some right-wing literature and it's made him completely schizo. So I don't think there's every information should be given to everyone. I think some people.
What did he read? What made him schizo? Because I haven't seen his arc. All I know is that he is famous for coining the woke right term.
You haven't seen his Twitter feed in like the last year, V?
No, I don't go to mental asylums.
Okay, you're on Twitter, so yes, you do.
No, but like, there are mental asylums within Twitter. You know, like when you go into a mental asylum.
It's James Lindsay's Twitter feed. Yeah.
Let me put it this way. Right? Like when you go to have you ever been to a mental asylum actually?
I have not.
Okay, I have been, like, as a doctor, I had to do my practice, and
Okay.
you have like they call it the open door ward, where you have like everyone's crazy in a mental asylum, even the doctors. Like, most of the nonsense is contagious. I'm not kidding. Like, you put a person with paranoia in a room with a healthy person, then the healthy person gets paranoia. It's interesting. But anyway, right? So you have you got the open door patients. Like, they're actually allowed to go out in the garden and blah blah blah, right? So like that's the normal part of the asylum. And then you have like the closed door. You know, the ones where the walls are made of rubber so that you can bounce against them.
Padded cells, yeah.
So basically, in Twitter, right? Like, I don't go to the closed door policy. Like, I stay away from that.
Right.
So that's why I don't look at James Lindsay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically turned into like the lol cow of. He's basically designated himself. Someone said it to me. It's because the whole making fun of everyone in academia, the grievance studies, really kind of damaged his reputation in that circle, and he still wants to be in that sphere and acknowledged for being some kind of intellectual. But he's just an absolute idiot, and he's way out of his depth. I mean, the one that he keeps. He has a really strange, hateful hard-on for Orrin McIntyre from The Blaze. And I don't know why. I don't know. And he keeps talking about Carl Schmitt because he's one of the political theorists and like the Straussians, like
Yeah, I know.
basically any like basically like any pre-Second World War narrative that is clearly bullshit. He is incredibly skeptical of, and he basically just sounds like every Zionist shill on Twitter. But he's like a special schizo variety of just screaming about the woke right in, I would say, every second tweet he's done in like the past 9 months. It was very bizarre. I actually did a video on him because he spoke to Jordan Peterson about it, and my good God, it was just utterly
Hold on,
fucking deranged.
let me see what James Lindsay has to say. Now he made me curious. Let's see what.
Oh God.
The thing is, like, I would say there is a woke right. I don't know if it's the one that he is defining, but it's like identity politics authoritarian, right? Like that's what I understand by woke.
Yeah, but like I don't think authoritarian is really a thing.
Authoritarian as like believe like me, or else like believe 100% of the shit that I believe, or else you're a problem. I don't judge you by your actions. I judge you by what you believe.
Okay, so
right,
you're
so
not
like
different definitions for authoritarian then.
Well, it's the definition that most people use on the internet in the modern era, right?
Right.
So.
Right. Because depending on the kind of person that I speak to, usually when I speak to Americans, they consider authoritarian just basically an unchained executive. Like if the executive has the final word,
no.
Like absolute monarchy in their conception is tyrannical. It's not what they do, it's just how they get anything done, which is very strange.
The idea, like what people in Eastern Europe understand by authoritarian is like you have everything within the state, nothing outside the state, right? So like you have no private life. Like there is no more, there's no more privacy for you. You can't escape anything, right? Like if the moral busybody says this is how you need to think, Kinda, yeah. Like communism was also very obsessed with how people think. Right? It's not about the action. It's like, look at the woke. Even if you're not a racist, even if you hire black people, even if you never commit an act of violence towards a person for being black, if you say a joke about racism, then you're a racist because you had racist thoughts, right? It's like the idea of policing the mind of the people to the most trivial and nonsensical manner. It's not like you're just policing, like, this person is part of an ideology, and so I'm going to police. No. Like, this person said a racist joke, or he said something sexist, and therefore, like, his entire essence is defined by that, right? So now we need to control him. That's at least how I view it.
Okay. I actually, that video that I did on Peterson and Lindsay turned out to be very good. I had a bunch of people messaging me about it. One of them said it's the best video that I've done, and asked me, like, how do you say spicy things like that and avoid getting yourself banned? And I said to them, well, you can basically speak anything on YouTube if you just put it positively. It's the negativity that seems to gripe the algorithm. Because I think this, I wouldn't say it's spicy. It's more just an observation where I said, identity-based discrimination doesn't exist. Like, it's never existed. Because, like, I say, for example, like, I don't know anyone who dislikes insert groups X based on just the group identity and literally nothing else. That doesn't exist. Like, if you ask somebody, why don't you like, say, women or this particular demographic or race, they'll give you reasons.
It exists in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, but is it just because of that group, or is it because of the behavior of that group?
Probably both, but even when the behavior stops, people still... Like, I can give you an example with Hungarians in Romania. Like, there's grievances, even though, like, right now, I wouldn't say there's any actual issues. But, like, people hate Hungarians.
But what's the grievance based on?
Historical conflict.
Yeah, but there you go. It's behavior against somebody else.
Yeah, but like,
dude,
it happened like over 60 fucking years ago, right? Like, come on.
These morons are still pissed off about colonialism because they suck and we were better. Well,
yeah, and it's a bad idea to get pissed off.
It's stupid. Yeah, I know. That's my point.
Anyway, Gary Thomas, thank you for the $5. I knew the Epstein list wasn't coming out when Virginia Giuffre came down with a spontaneous bout of depression and topped herself. Did that happen?
Really? I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I feel like it's a meme.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know.
So
Sounds dramatic.
let's talk a little bit about Mecha Hitler.
Yes.
Apparently the CEO from Twitter, like I even forgot she existed. She resigned. A lot of people say that this is before the Mecha Hitler. So for those of you who don't know, Grok was updated to version 4, and the command for it to say whatever it wants, even if it's politically incorrect, as long as it's substantiated, was placed in. Now, of course, cheeky little shits on Twitter, whenever, they get a new toy, instead of, like, respecting the toy for what it is, they started asking it question about the Jews. And not only that, but then they would copy-paste what was said and show it to the public and tagging Elon Musk and tagging other people. Oh, look, what Grok says about Jewish activists. And of course, the AI got lobotomized, and the fallout was very interesting. But this is, in my opinion, like self-owned from our side, because in 2025, you really do not have free speech. Like, it just doesn't fucking exist, right? And so, what you do have is, like, guardrails in terms of service. So now when you have a large language model that actually tries to push it into the direction of free speech, like, compared to the other companies, this one actually tries to remove guardrails. Instead of people just taking the W, they try to be cheeky little shits in order to, I guess, like, prove that X is being hypocritical. And so, like, congratulations, you proved it, right? Now what happens is the AI is placed under guardrails. You're going to have access to lobotomized AI, while the big corporations, the governments, the people advising senators and politicians, they're going to have access to the AI that's based on pragmatism rather than political correctness.
I have a different opinion. I honestly think the AI, that whole thing was done by Elon just the giggles. The reason I say that, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I would say like about 2 weeks ago, I saw a post from him saying, say things that are not politically correct so the AI can learn. And then a couple of days later, the AI goes completely unchained and unhinged. I'm like, I swear to God, Elon made people say shit just so he can sit on his ass and laugh. And the reason I think that is because I've seen him. There was that video famously of him sitting next to somebody laughing his ass off hysterically at a deer that just drowned in someone's pool. So he has a fucked up sense of humor. So I would not be surprised if he just sat there and did it for himself.
I mean, Elon is the richest man on Earth, right? So no matter how much money... Well, isn't it true?
I think Putin has more money.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
There's like a theory going around that Putin is like actually one of the wealthiest men alive presently.
I mean, I wouldn't
I'm just it's
yeah, I wouldn't say it's
I wouldn't
impossible.
be surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But like anyway,
Yeah.
right? Let's assume that Elon is the second richest man or the first richest man. Doesn't fucking matter. Like, he's got so much
yes.
money, right? That like nothing he does, I think, is going to ever make him experience poverty. And so yeah, like, he could probably lose Twitter and not give that much of a shit.
Yeah.
But so I can see him do something like this. But I can't make my judgment like assuming that Elon is insane, you know? Like, I have to at least treat him as a potentially rational actor.
Yeah. I think he's more spurgy than insane.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think it's like, oh, let's the AI unleash so that he can make some Jew jokes. And then have my company lose a lot of sponsors and shit. I don't think like that's the way he would do it, right?
Okay, but here's maybe another theory. Maybe he had promised with the CEO, and the CEO didn't like the direction, and Elon was just saying, "I'm gonna release this," and she was just like, "Elon, if you release that, I'm gonna leave the company." Like,
I don't think like
really like. He's just like hovering his finger on the button. I'm gonna make it do it.
I don't think people at that level are this petty. Like, if you're this petty, you can't make it all the way to the top. Like most people.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Like to be the CEO of Twitter, especially picked by Elon and working at the WF. The thing is, like, these people are not incompetent. They're competent but malicious, right? Like the middle management is incompetent. The HR ladies, the foot soldiers, the ones at the middle, yeah, sure. But the ones at the very top, like the creme de la creme, no, they're just malicious. Like they're actually very competent at what they're doing. You can't have like this. Go on.
No, I spoke to Scrump about this, and because I asked him like, what is it? Why do these people seem so incompetent? And he said to me something along the lines of, they're very competent at securing their own positions of power, but that's basically where they like expend all of their resources is largely in that, and some things that are trivial that to us seems very important, they just don't give a fuck about.
Well, the way I would view it is that you can't have such a efficient system of grifting if everyone at the top was incompetent. Look at the grifting of the US aid, right? It's just that their competence...
Oh my god, that was a shit show.
Yeah, like the competence is dedicated for their grift, as you say. And sometimes they have to work with others to achieve the grift. So I wouldn't say like the competence is just limited to their area. But when it comes to Yukariro or like other CEOs, though, I generally think that they're very competent.
I do also like wonder what the hell they can get away with, because I sort of look at the stuff that they're spending money on. I'm like, how the hell did you people get away with this much retarded shit?
It depends who you're...
Unreal.
Well, I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi, right? Like, everyone knows that she's doing insider trading. Like, no one is even debating that she isn't. However, no one does shit, right?
No.
And so...
She's spent most of her money on facelifts. Every single week, her eyebrows are, like, yanked higher than, somebody else's wedgie in, like, a schoolyard or some shit.
You think so? I didn't look at her aesthetics, but... If you say.
Have you never seen like that meme that went around of her, like after she got like somewhere the injection because her eyebrows were like half an inch above her eyes. It was insane. It looked like someone just was like using two fishing rods to hook her in the eye and just yanked her live on stage. She looked high as a kite and very surprised. Did you ever see? Hold on, like we have to share this with you. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
The thing that I know is like seeing black and white pictures with Nancy Pelosi reminding me of her elder vampire status. Like, she is fucking old, man. Like when she was in the first pictures, like again, they were black and white. Was it like World War II or some shit like that?
Yeah, I think she was like with the Kennedy administration.
Yeah, like
yeah. Look at this picture.
Was she alive when they?
This 2022. This was 3 years ago.
Hold on, was she alive when they nuked Japan? I'll show the picture in a bit. Was she alive when they nuked Japan?
Hold on.
I think so. I think she was literally alive when they nuked Japan. That's why I'm saying.
A child, but I think so. Let's see, Nancy Pelosi age. She was born in 1940. So yes.
Yeah, she was alive when Japan was nuked.
Dear Lord.
Right. I don't know. Like maybe she's just a sleepy and she wants to keep her eyes open, right?
No, she's just a psychopath, like hell bent on keeping her talons on power until she dies.
Speaking of,
that's the only thing sustaining her.
Who does the left in America have to field as a president in the next elections?
I was gonna say Gavin Newsom, but how he handled California and Mexico was insane. That was, I couldn't believe. I remember watching AA saying the left should just be banned because they're basically a glorified student protest group, and like they literally don't believe the concept of the nation state exists. Like what you saw was them cheering on an invasion by foreign power and doing nothing. It's like holy crap.
Okay, but like hold on, right? Let's put ideology aside. Let's realize that this is one of the oldest political parties in democratic history, right? And it has lost elections. It will win elections. Like it's not the end for them.
No, not unless you were there.
But anyway, right. How do you think they're
Newsom is probably the best I have.
What about that guy from New York that is very charismatic?
Oh God, no. He like something I've noticed about Americans.
You're thinking like a right winger, okay? Like think that you're a leftist that votes for left-leaning causes, right? Like which one would you vote for? Because like
this is something I've noticed. He does well on state level stuff, but once you get outside of that bubble, it tanks really fast.
Mm-hmm.
You can get like New York and California, but the rest of the country is not that radically left leaning.
What do you think about AOC?
I think she's insane.
No, like, is she polling well with the left?
No. I don't think a woman will ever be elected president in our lifetime, God, honestly.
You think so?
Yes, 100%.
You think like if a smoking hot right-wing chick came up and she had good policy, you don't think she would be elected?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think there is any appetite for actually a woman ruling anything, especially in the United States.
Yeah, well, for instance, if you have like someone like Maloney before, like in the beginning, in the
Yeah, but
early
they're
stages.
Italians. They have their own problems.
No, but like I'm saying, I don't know. Like I think if you have like someone like Tulsi Gabbard that was based, right, and she's also hot, I think people would vote for her. But you'd have to have someone that's competent, makes good talking points, is also hot. Like this actually matters. Like it activates the Sims, and you get like free votes for no fucking reason to compensate with the misogynist, right? And then you
but
go on.
The misogynists will always outnumber them.
I don't know. Again,
you can get women hating by other women as well. Keep that in mind. Whereas the Sims is only from the men.
Sure, but like this is why you need to be very good at debates, right? Like to actually know your shit, to actually be able to dismantle the opposition. If you can do that.
Yeah, and I don't see anyone on the left even remotely capable of doing that against, say, even JD Vance.
AOC in the beginning was able to do that when she was making like stadiums of people. But the reason she was is because people didn't believe she's a liar then. Like right now, she exposed herself as being a shill. And even the left noticed that. So it's kind of bad when you're grifting so bad that even the left notices you're grifting.
Yeah, your own side thinks you're full of crap. I genuinely expect some kind of dark horse appear out of nowhere. And the thing is that I've noticed about the Americans is they have really short attention spans, and people's political capital can burn out really fucking quickly. Like you have to have some staying power to keep it going on for more than like 3 weeks at this point. Because man, things disappear out of the election cycle in and out like that. I mean, how Trump managed to keep it going for this long is actually like genuinely unprecedented as far as politics go in my lifetime. Because I remember when everyone thought that Barack Obama can basically pull Kamala Harris over the finish line, and like that fucking tanked, and he's basically gone. So they don't have that sort of charismatic person coming up again. Like Gavin Newsom could have done it if he just didn't burn California to the ground like an absolute tard. It's just really bizarre watching them. What the hell are they? Yeah, they could run Bernie again if he
Dude,
still
like the
is
guy
alive.
would have to run in a fucking coffin. Like how old is he?
But if Biden got elected and in worse shape, I don't see why Bernie can't. Bernie is still mentally more competent than Biden was.
No, but
when
he is older. He's older than Biden now. When he got
I know, but so is everyone.
You know, it would actually be interesting if they run a Zoomer.
Oh God!
Can you imagine if they run a VTuber though?
People running the Democratic Party, that would be funny just to subvert them.
No, basically what I'm trying to say is that in the past you'd run a Hollywood actor, right? Like you'd run an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Reagan, yeah.
Yeah, imagine if you would be like, yeah, I'm the actress that played Gargura. Yeah, I'm interested in politics. Yeah, I want to join.
Oh God, that's
like
such an American thing to do.
Can you? No, seriously, like, can you imagine the pool they would have with the young generation if that happened? It's like I'm Iron Mouse or Shy Lily or whatever the fuck, you know. I'm the voice actress behind that. Yeah, I've been part of Hololive. Yeah, I did that. Now I want to enter politics.
I honestly think a YouTuber has a better shot at this point because they're more popular.
Who? Hassan? Like seriously, the left doesn't. The left doesn't.
Well,
have...
Hassan is not a born American.
So no, I know, but like the left doesn't have charismatic people, is what I'm trying to say. That's why I even went to the VTubers. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like there's absolutely nothing, right? No, like seriously, like you have e-girls, OnlyFans girls, that type of shit that's popular right now with the left. But if you're looking like actual leftists that have pull and sway, I can't think of anyone. Like they tried grooming Hog for the position of a politician, right? Like what is his name? The one with the school shooting. David Hogg. Yeah, David Hogg. They tried grooming him. Apparently, he's a massive failure. Like he can't even pull 100 people in a live stream.
Well, I mean, have you just seen the look at him? Like there's people you just look at and go, you are off-putting. Just appearance alone, and he's one of them. It's like it's what was he's like something like 7 years older than me. I have no hair and I still look younger than he does. I don't know how that's humanly possible. It's very strange.
Man, there's something with Zoomers. I don't know what the fuck, especially in America, they're aging way too fast.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
And it's
the
not,
women all do Botox. It's
not
weird,
yeah,
man.
it's not just like the fact that they're aging physically, they're aging mentally as well. Like I see Zoomers complaining about trivial shit like they're an elderly woman on menopause. And I just don't fucking understand it. It's like, dude, like in order to bitch this much about shit, like you'd have to at least be an 85-year-old woman.
Do you know who I honestly think is probably like if they were gonna put up like a lefty YouTuber that could honestly hold their own in a debate, and I'm going purely by that, and this is gonna sound screwed up to say, but honestly, Destiny's your best bet.
They hate him, man.
Because he at least knows how to yeah exactly. But as far as just being in an environment where he can throw down and still hold his own, I can't think anyone on the left who can match him.
They hate him. Like
he's
the
at
left,
least good at that.
And I'll tell you why. Like, first of all, the left hates him, right? Because I'm not judging him on a right-wing perspective. I'm judging him on the left-wing perspective. And secondly, when you're this long on the internet, like you have so many skeletons in your closet simply because, like,
yes,
you have like so many streams and you must have said some dumb shit at some point, and they all gather up and it's like no. Now, the way that I think is going to happen...
He could still at least go, at least I'm not on Epstein's list. That's like his claim to like a comeback.
No, I think
it's not
like...
a bad one, actually.
I think like what will happen is that eventually right-wingers will overreach. They will start with censorship bullshit, with the morality stuff. Like the left is with political correctness, the right is with morality. They will probably start...
I hope they do that, actually.
Yeah, no, like, I'll tell you what's happening based on history. For the next 4 or 8 years, they will probably start fucking with porn, and then we'll fuck with music, and video games, and TV shows, and movies. They will foster resentment, and that's when you'll get, like, a leftist that's going to run for free speech and freedom of expression. You already have this in publications. Like, there's a publication that sets Democrat policy, and their main title was, like, Democrats should be the porn party. Because the left actually won the culture crusade with the hippie bullshit. They won the culture crusade with the woke bullshit. And now, you know, like, it's kind of like a wheel. The right gets in power, they start with their morality, and they give the left a platform. And so that's how they could get the young men vote again, because that's what Kamala Harris had a problem with. She couldn't get young men to vote.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Why not?
Because young men don't have an interest in that.
No, it's not going to be porn sites, but it's going to be like, okay, you want to log on Twitter, you got to show your ID because there's porn on Twitter. So, like, you're an adult, you got to show ID to go.
I don't think anyone is going to pass for that.
Australia is already putting legislation for that. The European
Union... Yeah, but that's Australia. They're fucking insane.
Yeah, but they're trying to do that in America. Like, there's already states that have, like, robust age verification laws. And what they want is for you to either show your face in front of a 3D camera to access websites that they consider problematic, or they want you to show your driving license. And it's already implemented.
Dear China.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. Do you think anyone gives a shit about porn? Like, let's be honest, most of the politicians either watch it or they have stocks invested in these companies. Like, the goal is not... The goal is not
politicians? No.
What do you mean politicians? No. Like, you can look at their trading. Like, they have...
No. You asked me, like, do it that they care.
No, politicians absolutely don't care.
That's what I'm saying no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying no to.
Yeah. And so what they care about is censorship and control. And so, yeah, like, I do think, like, the internet is going to get more censorious until, especially Generation Alpha, that grew up with parents that will control everything they do. Like, probably spyware on their phones, spyware on their laptops, like, everything they do is going to be controlled. And what usually happens when people become teenagers and they become rebellious, they rebel against the culture they grew up in. And that's probably when finally the left can get the young male vote again.
I don't see them getting the young male vote again for a long time.
That means like 10 years, what I'm describing, right? So like for the Gen Alpha to be able to vote.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
You don't think that the Democrats will ever get back in power? You think
not
like
within the next decade, no.
But I just said 10 years, man.
Yes, but you're saying in the next decade. I'm saying no.
Oh, so you think like for the next 100 of years?
After 10 years?
You think like for the next
No,
100
no,
of
I'm
years?
not. You said 10, not 100. Oh, God damn, you went from
No, no,
decade
no.
to
I'm
centuries.
being, I'm being,
Fucking
yeah.
year gap
No,
there.
no, no. Hold on, let me finish, guys. I'm being hypocritical, right? Like I'm being not hypocritical. I'm being
A little bit.
hyperbolic. Yeah. Like you think for the
Yes.
next 100 years the right wingers will win? It's like obviously there's going to be probably one more right wing government, probably 3 at most, and then you're going to have the left in again, right?
I'm not gonna lie, when you said the 100 years next government, in my head I'm just seeing like Caesar's legions flag waving in Brits.
To
Like, our way to the Kaiser.
to be fair though, like that wouldn't be better either, because what I noticed in human nature is when an ideology manages to gain power, it starts attracting the bad elements. Basically, when you're the underdog,
It's just attracting the masses. Yeah, and then it gets cringe and boring.
well, the way I view it is that when you're the underdog, right, and you're being banned and censored and suppressed, you got to do a lot of quality control. You can't have like extremists in your group. You need to care about optics, right? And so like you self-purge. But once you get into power, you start attracting the people that are unhinged, and you start attracting the grifters. And
Oh God, yeah.
you
I even
lose.
see that now.
Yeah, you lose the quality control. Like, this is why the left has, like, so many crazy and wackos, and the right wing was just well-spoken, well-versed, well-articulated. The thing is, like, it used to be the other way around. If you remember the Bush era, like, the right-wingers were the insane crazy ones, and all the left-wing people were well-articulated and well-spoken, and they would be polite and civil. It's because of that. Like, the more an ideology is in power, the less quality control they have. And the more crazy and grifters they gather.
I would agree with that to a point, but the problem is with the right is that they don't do anything once they get into power. Because I always feel like it's you know Thomas Massey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had this really great speech that he gave to a bunch of like press corps people and some politicians during the whole budget dispute. He basically just said, "Can we just be honest with this song and dance? Every year it's the same thing. We get in a crisis just before the government and we all pull together because when the left is in power, they grow the welfare state, and when the right gets in power, they grow the budget of the Pentagon." And then Curtis Yarvin pointed that out freaking years ago. And it's still going on now. It's just that when each side gets into power, they grow their little, niche of government and appeases their side. Because they know the left will not really give a flying fuck if they grow the welfare state, and the Republicans will not really throw that much of a hissy fit if they blow up the budget of the military, because that's just like their thing. And no side actually pulls back government in any capacity. It's more just like, well, it's our turn to grow it, then your turn to grow it, and just grows and grows and grows into this just enormous leviathan that it is now. And I feel like when it comes to power and morality, the one thing that I've noticed about the left is the left actually likes government, which is a big problem for the right, because once the left gets into power, they will do whatever the hell they want because their base looks up to them like it's a religious faction. And the right looks at the people in power with great skepticism and like, if you make wrong move, we will no longer support you. And that's why they don't get anywhere. It's because they're constantly trying to walk on eggshells and they really care about optics, whereas the left does not give a fuck.
I think like
that's why they're better.
I think morality doesn't come from government. Morality can
no for the right it doesn't, but for the left it absolutely does.
Well, the way I think is that morality for right wingers come from family and friends.
Yes.
And for the left, it doesn't come from the government. It comes from the media and social media.
That is power, though.
It is power, but
That's
it's not
what
the
state
government.
Controls.
It's well, if you were like Elon Musk, right, and you make Twitter, you can definitely see that the internet morality has changed. Like, we no longer worship pronouns. One of the main reasons that you have like so much push against woke ideologies because of Twitter. So, like, if you're a right-winger and you actually manage to gain control over mainstream media or social media, that's how you change morality.
I think that was just course correction by the elites. They're pulling the woke away.
No, I think, like, the elites were... Dude, the elites were loving the woke. Like, they were grifting so fucking hard off of it. Like, it's really...
Yeah, but it's costing them... It's costing them... Yeah, but you can't grift that thing forever. There comes a point where, like I remember Scrum said this, is that they're very good at appearing like they have control, but you can't run away from reality. Like, eventually will catch up to you. and it just doesn't work. Like the whole woke thing, just it can't work. Like you can't shove
I think
non-white people into places where Europeans rule. Like it just doesn't work.
I think you could have made it work for like 10 more years. I mean, the European Union still makes it work. So
yeah, but Europeans also just completely unhinged.
Okay, well, if
it would eventually collapse. Like, well, look at the Soviet Union collapse.
Well, I'm not
bureaucracy.
saying it's not going to collapse. What I am saying, however, is that the grift could have gone a little bit longer, right? But because Elon Musk took Twitter,
but you are admitting that it isn't sustainable.
But nothing is sustainable. Like there is no ideology on planet Earth that's sustainable forever. What I am trying to say though is that you could have made the grift a little bit longer, but Elon Musk managed to take Twitter, and that's why the grift stopped. American Outlier.
I don't think Elon Musk has that much power.
American Outlier, thank you for the $10. Hi, V and Spoon. Hope you guys are good. Another good candidate for the Democrats would be the YouTuber Kevin from Meet Kevin. He's a real estate broker, an entrepreneur, and run for governor of California. That's actually a good point. You know, if you get someone that's not as ideological, but like more a pragmatic person that's like, okay, I have a plan for the economy. I think like that would actually help the left. That if they were to get, you know, some other AOC or... Because I think like the era of like ideological pushing is kind of done for the left. Like this whole idea we're voting for ideology. Like you're into an economic recession, people are hungry, people want solutions. They don't want another, you know, oh my goodness, buyer, gentrifier. The patriarchy, colonizer, blah, blah, blah. I think like people are past that.
I sort of agree, but it's sort of been because I remember speaking to Oren McIntyre on a stream about this because we were talking about when you look at it's okay. Games and movies is not really that much of a good metric because you know it takes several years for it. I think you even pointed this out on one of your streams is that it takes a while for that to be purged just before because production cycles are several years.
Yeah,
they're not like instantaneous.
Years.
Like
4 years.
Yeah, exactly. So you're still going to see some of it before you get anything decent. So you'll probably see that in like the next administration before this one. But it's sort of strange to see. It looks like a delay between we're actually not going to do this anymore, and you look like certain areas are filled with really slow, tardy people because they're still doing the same thing that everyone else has left. And I'm looking forward to watching them just purge a crap load of people from gaming industries.
They already are getting purged. The layoffs are insane. Jacob Andrew, thank you for the 25. To be fair, here in Bucharest, people did vote for a hot MILF mayor. She turned out to be a dumb bimbo, but hindsight is 2020. No offense, Bucharest, historically speaking, has only dumb mayors. Like, I don't know a single good mayor in that city, so I don't know, like, why you put so much onus on the woman to do the fucking impossible, right? It's just...
I'm very misogynistic when it comes to women in power. By modern standards, I don't think women should be in government in any capacity.
Well, Queen Elizabeth did a good job.
Yeah, but that's different.
Oh, of course it is.
Well, it's a queen. That's like royal lineage. I can't just go, well, you like it's.
That's why I knew
it's an institution.
That's why I knew exactly where to hit.
What? Just like the exceptions. Well, there's always the exception. V. Like,
Theresa May dismantled the left wing in the United Kingdom. No, sorry, not Theresa May. Margaret Thatcher. My bad. Margaret Thatcher.
Oh God, yeah, John Major.
I think like there is a way to build strong women, the Eastern European way, and it is possible.
Give them communism.
Yeah, make them poor
and make them suffer.
Yes, impoverish them.
Make them poor.
Yes, like you make them poor and desperate, and then the only way they can climb up is through meritocracy, and you can actually have like strong women. But like regarding leadership. To be honest, a lot of people hate Meloni, but with the cards that she's being dealt, I think she's doing a lot better. Like people will, you know what people will appreciate Meloni? When they're going to have a leftist politician instead of her. Like when her party fails, and you're going to elect a proper man, a Chad, who's going to be a left-wing Justin Trudeau in Italy, then people will say, you know what, that Meloni chick, yeah, she wasn't that fucking bad.
I hate that.
I'm telling you, right? Like, it's going to fucking happen.
I know, but it's just one of the things that I hate about the system of government is they look at someone and go, Well, this doesn't work, and it's not because, like, if you look at it, like, is she running actually right-wing policies? No. So we're gonna vote for someone that's even further left than the person we're complaining that isn't right-wing enough. Like, how does that make any fucking sense?
Oh, I know how it makes sense. You punish the ones in power. If you keep voting the people in power, then eventually they get used to their chair, right? Dude, like a salary in the European Union is $10,000 above. Do you want to lose that if you get in? Right? So
no,
like,
but then again, I have principles, so I would never be a good politician.
no, you'd be a perfect politician.
How so?
Well, you go in with principles, you get $10,000 a month, and then your principles go the fuck away.
No, I'm not. I'm not someone who would go into politics for that particular reason. If I was in
No,
politics,
it
I would
doesn't
be
matter
an
why you go.
absolute tyrant.
It doesn't fucking matter where you go. Like, why do you be a tyrant? You go into the European Union, it's like low 23-C. And you get to raise your hand up yes or put your hand down no. And then maybe you have a speech that no one listens to. And that's what your job is for the next 4 years. And you get paid 10,000 euros a day.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. People do that because like they basically just want an easy ride. I am not that kind of person. If I go into politics, like I want to wield power. I don't care about fiscal. I want people to look at me and just go like, I'm scared of him because he will literally massacre everything else around me in a giant just hellstorm of fire. Like I want to be that guy. I want to be. I don't want to be. I don't want wealth. I want to be.
Okay, if you wanna be that guy, like you wouldn't be managed to do that by getting in the EU. The way you would be that guy,
yeah, exactly,
is if you either rise the ranks of a AAA agency, like maybe Mossad or you know like the CIA or some shit like that, right? Like you get in, you get promoted, then you reach the top, or you become like a very famous CEO, you know, like especially Visa or MasterCard or something like that. Then you have the power. But if you're like a politician or you get elected, no one gives a shit.
You sound like Tony Montana right now. It's like lecturing Manny on how you get women in America. It's like the same principle.
Well, I get
first you get money and then power, and then once you get money and power, then you get the woman. It's basically the same principle. It's just that you want to make change and not get the chick. Have you not seen Scarface?
It's
Many years ago.
No, it's something that happened before my time. I was under communism when it came out, so.
V, you have to. Why are so many people not seen Scarface? It's like an iconic piece of American film.
I'll probably give you a porno. You watch the porno, I'll watch Scarface, and then we can discuss what we.
That's not an even trade, V. That's just degeneracy versus classic.
I know it's not an even trade. Why would you expect an even trade for me? Anyway.
Because you know communism, it's all about equality.
Anyway, I need to go and make the videos for my other channel. I want to thank you so much for coming here. We can do this
no
again,
problem, dude.
and I can come to your channel.
Absolutely, it's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And chat, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.
There we go.